Hello, I'm Stephen Graziano,
And I'm Lydia Shaw.
and we are second-year architecture students at Jefferson University.
Today, we will be diving into the semiotics of architecture, specifically the Islamic architecture of mosques.
Before we start, we need to have an understanding of semiotics. What is semiotics? Semiotics is the study of signs and symbols and their use or interpretation.
There are three communication strategies of semiotics that we will be analyzing today. Visual, the visual elements to communicate ideas; sonic, the sound elements to communicate ideas; and linguistic, the conventional symbols used by a specific group.
This can be further broken down into a three-part system: signs, signifiers, and the signified. Signs invoke the concept of a thing that isn't present. Signifiers are used to invoke an idea, and the signified is what is being evoked. Taking a look at an example, in this image, the picture of the dog is a signified. The word dog is a signifier. Signs are things that invoke the concept. So for a dog, some signs could be a paw, a dog bone, or a leash.
For those unfamiliar with mosques, they are places of worship for the Muslim religion. There are approximately 3.6 million mosques in the world, all of which adhere to specific rules given by their holy book, the Quran.
Each mosque consists of a mihrab, a niche indicating the direction of Mecca, which Muslims should face when praying. A typical mosque includes a minaret, a dome, and a place to wash before prayer. Each feature has its own significance. This video shows worshippers as they walk around and then eventually into the mosque. The first thing you must do when you enter into the mosque is wash yourself in the washing room or in the washing fountain. You must wash your arms and face. You then will go down into the prayer room and sit. You must also take your shoes off before entering in the prayer room. You will then bow your head as you face towards Mecca in the mihrab.
Some visual characteristics of mosques include a prayer room, but specifically one wall or point that faces the direction of Mecca. This is common throughout the entirety of Islamic religion, that during prayer one will lie facing towards Mecca.
Another visual characteristic that is attached to mosque would be that of the dome. The dome is said to be portrayed as the vault of heaven. Looking at all mosques, this is the one of the first things identifiable of the building that many architects decide to focus on drawing in one's eye.
Sound plays a big role in the construction of mosques. The use of domes allows for the capture and amplification of sound within the space. The dome typically is placed above the prayer where all the noise is at its highest. Another way mosques design around the amplifications of sound is through the minaret.
The minaret is the is in the shape of a tower that is placed at all corners of the mosque, where the muezzin, the man who calls for prayer, would go up and yell for the call of prayer. This was to allow for the muezzin to more easily grab the worshippers' attention. Now in modern day, the muezzin has been replaced with speakers that are attached to the minaret to allow for the sound to echo within the courtyard and beyond. In this next clip is an example of the muezzin giving a call to prayer on the minaret. As you can see from the video, the muezzin's call to prayer is amplified throughout the mosque and into the city from the speaker on top of the minaret.
Linguistically, mosques have specific key words that architects use to differentiate the different styles of mosques. Architects can identify a mosque as a hypostyle, 4E1, or centrally planned. These terms come from the way that the mosque is laid out and is seen in the floor plans understood by the architects. Architects can communicate to other architects and people in related fields through drawings such as floor plans.
To recap some things we went over today, semiotics is the study of signs and symbols and their use or interpretation. This can be broken down into the different communication strategies. These consist of visual, sonic, and linguistic characteristics. Relating this to the architecture of mosques is done by looking at some of the design elements that influence these strategies. The dome and mihrab are visual characteristics that are shared among all mosques. The minaret and dome play a role into the sonic characteristics of mosques, and the plan layout of mosques goes into the linguistic characteristics. These are all identifiable ways of how architecture of mosques helped inform the semiotics of these buildings. We hope that you have learned something new today and can learn to appreciate the role semiotics plays in architecture. Maybe you even have a heightened interest in the history of Islamic religion and the building practices that have been kept over the centuries.
Thanks for watching.